This week we have so much in store for you, from projects back at the shop to kicking things off here at Precision Turbo. Well, we're going to show you how they take raw pieces of metal like this and turn them into finely machined pieces like this, all the way into one powerful turbocharger. And that's next here on Performance TV. Welcome to this week's Performance TV. Well, we are starting the show off out on the road at Precision Turbo and Engine. We're going to head back to the studio a little bit later on, but the first thing I see here, Joe, is a huge wall of champions. And at Precision Turbo, you guys just have done so much for so many different kinds of classes and cars.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words. Give you a little bit of background on Precision Turbo and Engine. Precision Turbo and Engine was founded by our president of the company, Harry Ruska, back in 1987. What started out as a way to make a little extra money to help fuel his passion for road racing has since turned into a very diverse, very energetic, very enthusiastic manufacturer of turbochargers and turbocharger-related components. Not only do we design and manufacture turbochargers, but we are a one-stop shop for all your fuel injection as well as EFI needs.
Well, you know, I've heard a little bit of talk about the recipe that goes into everything, and you guys can come up with a specific recipe, and it all comes down to the name, and that's Precision. And I can't wait to dive into seeing what you guys do here that nobody else does.
Well, one of the things that really makes us truly unique in our industry is not only do we design and manufacture world-class turbochargers, but we are a one-stop solution for anyone's performance needs. Anyone can call us and get a turbocharger recommendation, but we really want to get down to the nuts and bolts of it. We want to figure out what it's going to take to knock that off that bucket list for you. So we're going to ask you a lot of questions. We're going to get all the information for your project. We'll make sure we're going to give you a detailed specification, not only the turbocharger, but all the other components that you're going to need to put together a championship-winning combination.
And I can't wait to see how you guys put all this stuff together. And what do you say we get started? Well, here at Precision Turbo, you know, it just really amazes me, everything that you guys have to do to get to your final product. And Dan, who's the Director of Engineering, Dan, you guys have been doing it with your CAD systems and computers for many years.
I've been working on a CAD system here for 17 years now, designing parts. We not only use CAD systems, but you know, sometimes paper and pencil still.
They still make that stuff?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you're at the track and you don't have your CAD computer with you. Sometimes I'm driving home and I'll get an idea. I do have a CAD system at home for that.
But every turbo is going to take a little bit different time, because depending on the application, you know, you guys do both street and strip, all different types of performance, so there's probably no set amount of time. You guys invest in developing something.
Yes, we do. Every turbocharger takes a different amount of time. We have myself and 2 other engineers that draw these things, and each one of us is working on a different project at any given time.
Well, you know, you guys have been using the CAD systems for years, but just here recently, you have added a 3D printer, which is what we're seeing here. It's really cutting down on the amount of time to develop something and get it out to market.
Yes, it is. For instance, this was a bearing housing that we printed for a very fast-paced OE customer. We didn't have the castings yet to machine. We wanted to make sure that the other parts were going to fit. So that the 3D printer allowed us to do that within hours.
And if you think the 3D printing is cool, well, we have a robot to show you in an upcoming segment. But quality control is second to none here at Precision Turbo. Let's go find out more. Probably one of the coolest rooms you're going to see here at Precision Turbo is going to be their quality control room with all kinds of machines and equipment, from tried and true to some of today's coolest technology. And Danielle, who is the quality manager here at Precision Turbo, what are we seeing here with this microscope?
Right now we're watching as the race of a bearing is inspected. So in this case there was a failure, and we're looking to determine root cause.
And you have some other machines here as well, but we're looking at the curvature of the blade.
Correct. We have an optical comparator that we use to 100% inspect the blades of our compressor wheels.
And that's been around for a very long time, but what I have fallen in love with is what we see here with the arm on the table. What in the world is this all about?
Well, it's twofold, Kathy. Right now you'll see that the arm is being used to reverse engineer one of the products that we currently receive, and this will help us take a design and bring it to manufacturability.
And this is something where you can compare, I mean, right down to teeny tiny bits between something to be able to really see what you couldn't with the naked eye.
Absolutely. It allows us to inspect product right to the engineering requirements that we put forth for our suppliers.
What about reverse engineering?
Absolutely. The ARM is limitless in terms of its capability. It allows us to take another engine, for example, and then we can reverse engineer and design a turbocharger to fit a customer's engine.
Wow, and this is something that is just Precision Turbo has this.
Absolutely, and it's a service that we offer. It's a service we pride ourselves on to continue to grow.
And this is something, how long have you guys been using this?
Right now, we've had this about 3 years, and we're constantly looking to keep fresh with manufacturing best practices. So we're constantly looking for new and better ways to accurately inspect product.
Well, that's our first look at things here at Precision Turbo. When we come back, we'll be back at the garage with more of Performance TV.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Machinist Mate, dedicated to bringing new revolutionary cleaning products to the market. Brannick, automotive tools and tire equipment. Precision Turbo, the world's foremost manufacturer of high-performance aftermarket turbochargers. And by Dustless Blasting, it's the future of surface preparation.
Welcome back to Performance TV. If you've ever restored an old classic like this Thunderbird right here, one of the things you need to replace, all the rubber seals. Where do you find those rubber seals for these old cars? One place, Steel Rubber Products. And with Matt Agosta, Matt, you carry a full line for pretty much any old vehicle.
We do. For a lot of years back from the 20s into, actually we got some going into 2000. So there's quite a line of weather stripping, seals, moldings, just
grommets for the firewalls,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
everything. It's hard to believe how many rubber products are on a car.
Oh yeah, especially these older ones.
Yeah, I mean, the door seals around the windows, in the firewall. When we were at your place here a while back, looking at this, I couldn't believe all the pieces that go into one vehicle.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. You know, we can put a whole book together of parts for a vehicle like that.
Well, that's one thing about your company I really like. You have a custom catalog that you tell them what vehicle you have, and you will have put together a catalog that covers every piece of that car.
Right. We used to have a 600-page catalog, and we found that people weren't using 3, 4, 5 pages of it, and they were having a difficulty finding the pieces they needed. So now we produce a custom catalog right down to your make, model, and style, and it's custom to you, your car, even has your name on it. You don't have to be bothered with all those parts you're not interested in.
Now, it is an extensive line you have, but every piece fits because you do a lot of research and a lot of work to make sure that piece is going to fit.
We do. A lot of research goes into it. We also do a lot of tech support. We help people with their issues. And one of the issues they have is talking about, how do I glue down weather stripping? I can't believe how often I get that question. So I put together a little demonstration for you today on that.
All right.
And we're going to glue these parts to these aluminum blocks, and I purposely picked up the aluminum block because of the weight.
That's pretty hefty,
Pretty
yeah.
hefty little weight.
That's right,
They're
yeah.
3 pounds, okay? And I'm going to show how I used to do it, and I did it improperly, but I did it the same way most people did, and the proper way to do it. So let me give you that demonstration.
let's see
First
this.
thing is to make sure that surfaces are all clean on the rubber and on the material that you're going to glue on. So that's the simple part. I'm going to put some gloves on so I don't make a real mess for myself because I am real good at wearing this stuff.
I've done this before and had it all over me.
So I'm sure many of you are the same way. The way I used to do this is I would just put a bead down on the body, you know, like that door body on that
Right.
little T-bird behind us. And I would just run the bead down. And then I just put the weather strip in and let it sit overnight. Just had it all in line. The only problem with that is, you notice
Yeah,
how
I always
everything
get it oozing out the
always
edges.
is out, so you got a lot of
Got a
clean.
big mess.
This thing can still slide around on you. Now the proper way to do it is to put a thin line of adhesive. And
Not
both-
overdo it. Just
very
don't take a lot.
You know, make sure you know where you want it. Put a very thin line on the body and a thin line on the rubber. And it's always good to kind of spread it out a little bit. But stay within where you need to glue it, okay? And this takes a little more time to do, but believe me, it does a much better job.
I've always heard if you want it done right, do it yourself and do
And
it
you
right
let-
the first time.
Right, and you let it get tacky.
Okay.
Now, while we're doing that, we also make a line of weather stripping with adhesive tape on it.
Right,
And we do that.
self-adhesive,
Yeah,
yep.
we developed it for all the street riders that had fiberglass bodies, just to show you how well that works. And we use a 3M tape, and it's real important because this is a tape that really holds, where most other tapes don't. And it's a heat-activated system on that rubber. We've got our blocks clean. We mark where we want it, and we can just peel this back and make sure that we lay it wherever it is that we want it and put it down one time. Because if you don't, then you have to peel it up and put it back.
You're going to need another piece of tape.
You're going to need another piece of weather stripping. because
That's
how we
right.
Do it. But to give you an idea how well it holds,
Oh, man.
there's that 3-pound block.
That's right.
That means you can close your door automatically
Done,
on it.
yeah.
You're done. You're done. Now, as we go back on here, let's see if this is getting tacky here. And it is. Good. Now what we want to do is put another thin layer, and you can do it on either side.
Either on the body or
On the body or on a weather strip, whichever you want to do. I'll just put it here on the weather strip because I got that in my hand. Another very thin layer. And we close this thing up. Kind of spread it out a little bit. And this time we're not going to let it get tacky. This time we're just going to lay it.
apply it.
We're going to apply it right down where we want it. And the first thing you can see is, look, no mess.
No mess, yeah, nothing oozing out.
You know, you use a lot less rubber. Down the road, if you ever have to replace anything, less cleanup.
That's right, I like
So
less
that's
cleanup.
that's the good part. Now,
Look at that,
look at
instantly
that.
ready to
Look
go.
at that hole. All right.
There's one we did first,
Look at that.
and it
hole.
comes right off.
It comes right out. This you have to let sit for 24
Oh,
hours.
man. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something. If you are looking for the rubber products for your older vehicle, Steel Rubber products, and now you know how to put them in and install properly. We'll be right back with more Performance TV after this.
Performance TV, coming to you from Borla Commerce Park.
Welcome back to Performance TV. Working under a vehicle can be hard to move, but not with the Magic Creeper. So let's check in with Kathy and learn more about it.
Yeah, Tommy, the Magic Creeper is a super cool deal, and we have Brittany joining us from Magic Creeper. Now, how does it work?
Yeah, Kathy, the Magic Creeper is a wheelless mechanics creeper. It'll allow you to travel 4.5 to 5 feet, which can take you halfway across some of the largest vehicles on the road.
Oh, yeah, trailers, all kinds of stuff. Now, what is it made of, Brittany?
The material on the inside is a special low coefficient of friction material that we use, and the outside is a polyurethane outer coating that is oil and water resistant.
Oh, man, that's going to make it, you know, easy to clean.
Yeah, it's super easy to clean. Dirt and dust just wipe right off of it. Oil comes off easily with a little degreaser.
Well, we saw Tommy in here on our nice flat floor here in the shop, but it seems to me like with the Magic Creeper, you should be able to use this on all kinds of surfaces.
You can, Kathy. The Magic Creeper can be used on gravel, grass, dirt, uneven surfaces. It can even travel across cords, screws without damaging an expensive shop floor.
Oh, yeah, and getting stuck with the wheels or whatever, and you keep hitting the air hose or whatever when you're trying to work on stuff. It just seems to me like, you know, we move people with it, but there's got to be a lot of other uses for the Magic Creeper, too.
There are. The Magic Creeper is versatile. You can move heavy pieces of furniture across the Magic Creeper. You can move heavy tires, things in and out of the back of a pickup truck.
You know, so with that said, there's probably no weight limit on the Magic Creeper.
Kathy, yeah, there's virtually no weight limit for the Magic Creeper. Because it rolls on itself, you're on the ground. It takes about 10% of the object's force to move itself. So for
Okay.
a 200-pound man, it'll take about 20 pounds of force to move itself.
Oh, wow, yeah, so right back to moving heavy objects with ease.
Without damaging any flooring.
Oh my gosh, yes. And okay, so let's say our shop floor is pretty clean in here, but let's say you're out in the gravel or the dirt or whatever. Are you going to get dirty, you know, rolling back and forth?
Because you're laying in the same place at all times on the creeper, you won't get dirty. The underside of the creeper might get dirty, but you'll stay clean.
But it's easy to clean, so we don't have to worry about that. And you can throw it in the washer if you need to, but more so than not, you can just wipe everything off on the Magic Creeper. What do you say we put it to use? It's pretty easy to roll out. Can you show us?
It has handy elastic straps here on both sides to keep it tightly rolled up when you're not using it, and then it just rolls out nice and easy.
Oh, wow. And storage, because it rolls up so nice and tight, and it feels like it's pretty light.
It is. It's only 3 pounds, and so it's easy to store. It's easy to maneuver. It's very lightweight and can be stored in the back of a pickup, in the trunk, or in your garage. Takes up very little space.
And not just as a creeper, but if you have one of these in your vehicle or whatever, let's say you're heading out to the ball game or something like that, you've got your own seat with you, or maybe you need to kneel down and put tire chains on.
That's right. The possibilities with the Magic Creeper are endless. It's something that I always keep in my car so that if I do have to get out and check a tire or put tire chains on, I have something to kneel down on.
And don't have to worry about getting dirty. Roll it right back up, or whatever you need to do, toss it under the seat and off you go. How about moving some of these heavy objects, say in the back of a pickup truck? I don't know about you, but I don't like crawling in and out of the bed any more than I have to, just, the height restriction thing going on here, being short. And with the heavier objects, we can use the back of the pickup truck.
That's right.
And just, Brittany, I'm gonna let you go ahead. Show how we just roll that right out.
Yep, you can use the Magic Creeper to move things in and out of the back of a truck easily. You can throw a tire on it and just slide it all the way to the back.
And then all you have to do is just reach in,
pull the creeper out,
and pull it on back out. Let me give that a try. So we got that. There we go. Wow, that is pretty cool. Brittany, thank you so much for joining us today. Magic Creeper has so many fantastic uses. Find out more, just hop on their website at magiccreeper.com. And we'll have more for you just minutes away here on Performance TV. It really is pretty cool to slide that on in there.
This edition of Performance TV is being brought to you by Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radio since 1977. ShiftWorks, providing shifter solutions for putting new auto transmissions into older vehicles. Magic Creeper, ready rain or shine. And by Stage 8, the world's best locking fastener.
Welcome back to Performance TV. I don't know about you, but I would have never thought of putting a Cummins in a Ford. But guess what? You can do that. And thanks to Mike and the folks at Diesel Conversion Specialists. Mike, you guys have been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah, the company began in 2001. At the time it was called Ford Cummins. Later changed to Diesel Conversion Specialists to broaden the offering. We didn't want to limit ourselves to one type of engine.
I need to ask, why would somebody be doing this?
Over the years there may have been some reliability problems with certain types of diesels, and the tried and true has always been a Cummins diesel. So we offer the option of a person to put a Cummins in like a Super Duty pickup. And
all of the stuff to go right along with it. These are just a few of the items that you can supply the folks to be able to do this at home themselves. And we're going to start right off with being able to mount it in there.
Yep, these are the frame mounts that bolt up to our motor mounts. These bolt right in the Ford frame, right in place. Allows you a couple different placements of the engine depending on your fan configuration.
And the motors are going to be different when it comes to wiring things, hooking up in different ways. You guys have that all taken care of.
Yeah, we offer a full harness service. You can either send us your harnesses and we'll mate them together. We can sell you a complete harness if need be. When you receive your harness back, it'll be marked for each circuit, labeled so it's plug and play.
We like that, and being able to tune as well, and you're really close with working with that.
Yeah, my main priority is transmission tuning. We kind of like to offer this as this sets us apart. We have a full transmission tuning service. We view data log recordings. We make adjustments. When you pair these transmissions, you do need to change some shift points, some lockup points. for efficiency.
Absolutely, and we need to be able to make sure we keep everything strong. You guys even have the flex plate. It is SFI certified, which is important, so we know it's good and strong and safe. And everything else that you're going to need to go right along with it too, Mike, because the pedal's going to work a little different too.
Yep. You do have to drive both the Cummins pedal and the Ford pedal for proper efficiency. These are some examples of parts in a Cummins cable. This will bolt directly to your stock Ford pedal and allow you to drive the Cummins side for the proper function of that ECM.
Oh, speaking of bolting, we have a lot of stuff that you've bolted on. When we take a look, and we're going to start right off with the back, and you got to be able to mount this to the transmission.
That's our most popular item there. Our adapter plate bolts right to the Cummins as if it was a Cummins plate. This particular one bolts up to a Ford 5R110 transmission, complete with the cam sensor to allow full function of the motor in the Ford pickup.
Well, Mike, when I take a look, pretty much everything that I see bolted on, except for the turbo, that's all because of you guys.
Right. Up here we have our alternator brackets. You could leave a Dodge-style alternator on the Cummins if you choose. Our brackets allow you the option, if you want to retain your 6.4 alternator, you just use these brackets and our bolts. This is all included. It comes with the bolts. Everything you need is there. When you open up the bag, it's all there.
And we'll be able to keep our air conditioning?
Right. We sell the manifold. This is, again, it's a Cummins-style AC compressor with our manifold bolted on the back. Those lines can be moved. Every truck's a little different, but this does pair up to a Ford air conditioning line.
Okay, and see a lot of stuff you guys have over here on the other side as well.
Right. We do have our power steering bracket is behind here, and there again, you retain your Ford power steering on a Cummins engine. You don't have to change anything. You just bolt on our bracket. If you're using a aftermarket fuel system, we offer a fuel filter delete. This just pairs up your fuel lines. Down here is the other half of our engine mount, complete with the bushings, and what you see there is as it comes, right out of the box, bolts, bushings, and that'll pair up to our frame mounts.
So, Mike, we really can have a Cummins-powered Ford, and if people want to find out more about how they can change over, where can they go check it out?
They can check us out anytime at dieselconversion.com.
There you have it. We are out of time, but we'll have so much more for you next week here on Performance TV. We'll see you then.